you know what I love about this, yeah, is that the Duchess of Sussex was in the UK. No one knew. It's like a master chess checkmate move of all time. So here's a picture she posted. Oh, and they're so lovely. You can see Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet in Althorpe and their uncle's residence, on their way to visit their grandma's resting place, Princess Diana's resting place, with flowers, and it's just beautiful. And Meghan managed to do this without not a soul knowing in the UK she was here, and it's driving the haters insane. Look at some of these comments, right? Just like about, oh, unkempt hair, they haven't got shoes on, Diana would be appalled. What is wrong? Like, genuinely, what's wrong? What's missing in your life? What's missing? Where can we get you some love or comfort? They're children. They shouldn't be trussled up and fuddy-duddy and sat in suits and dresses and tights. Look at the gardens, it's summer. It's a beautiful moment. And Meghan can't win if she announces it publicly. She's caught in publicity, and how dare she? And if she's keeps it a secret, how dare she? How dare she post these pictures? It's the comments that you're seeing, or like, honestly, people are posting these. You will be embarrassed. It's not normal behavior. This is their grandma. They're going to see their grandma, and Harry has done everything so well. The respect he's shown his mother's side of the family, the respect he's shown his mother, and how he's raised these children and looked after his wife is just wonderful to see.
There are moments when a single photograph tells a much bigger story than 1,000 headlines ever could, not because the picture itself is controversial, but because of the reaction it provokes. That is exactly what happened after Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, shared carefully selected family moments connected to the Spencer family. The images were warm, personal, and intentionally limited. They revealed enough to celebrate a meaningful family occasion while still protecting the privacy of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Yet almost immediately, the familiar cycle began again. Royal commentators, newspaper columnists, and social media critics questioned why these photographs were shared at all. Some argued that Harry and Meghan were somehow being inconsistent about privacy. Others insisted that the couple only shared images when it suited them. But television personality Narinder Kaur was having none of it. She stepped into the debate with a perspective that many people believe cuts through years of misunderstanding surrounding Harry and Meghan. Her message was simple. Choosing to share selected family photographs does not mean giving away the right to privacy. Families have every right to decide what parts of their lives they want the world to see and which moments remain private. That point may sound obvious, yet it has become one of the biggest sources of disagreement whenever the Duke and Duchess of Sussex make public appearances or release carefully chosen images. The latest photographs featuring the Spencer family have once again exposed a growing divide between those who believe Harry and Meghan deserve the same personal boundaries as everyone else, and those who continue demanding unlimited access to every detail of their lives. Narinder's comments have reignited that debate in a powerful way. What many observers noticed immediately was that Meghan did not flood social media with endless photographs. Instead, she offered carefully selected glimpses into meaningful family memories. There were no intrusive close-ups designed to satisfy public curiosity. There were no staged opportunities inviting photographers into deeply personal moments. Instead, the photos reflected exactly what many ordinary families choose to do every day. Millions of people share birthday celebrations, anniversaries, vacations, graduations, and family reunions online while still maintaining private lives away from social media. Nobody accuses them of hypocrisy for doing so. Nobody suggests that because they post one family picture, they have surrendered every expectation of privacy forever. Narinder Kaur believes Harry and Meghan deserve that exact same freedom. Her argument resonates because it focuses on something very straightforward. Privacy is not secrecy. Privacy is choice. Choice means deciding what to reveal. Choice means deciding what to protect. Choice means controlling your own story instead of allowing strangers to control it for you. That distinction has often been lost in discussions surrounding the Sussexes. Since stepping away from royal duties, Harry and Meghan have repeatedly explained that they never wanted complete isolation from public life. Harry remains committed to the Invictus Games. Meghan continues supporting charitable initiatives and creative projects. Together, they still participate in interviews, documentaries, speeches, and public appearances. What they have consistently rejected is the expectation that every aspect of family life should be available for public consumption. Those are two very different things. The latest Spencer family photographs perfectly illustrate that balance. They celebrate family connections. They acknowledge an important relationship. They allow supporters to share in a meaningful moment. But they stop well short of exposing intimate details that belong only to Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, and their relatives. That is exactly the balance Narinder Kaur defended. Her comments have struck a chord because they challenge one of the most persistent narratives surrounding the Sussexes. For years, critics have claimed that Harry and Meghan cannot talk about privacy while continuing to appear in documentaries or publish photographs. Narinder argues that this criticism misunderstands what privacy actually means. Privacy has never meant disappearing completely. It means maintaining control over personal boundaries. The debate also highlights something increasingly important in today's digital world. Every public figure faces constant pressure to reveal more. Celebrities are expected to share holidays. Athletes are expected to share weddings. Actors are expected to introduce newborn children. Musicians are expected to live stream every milestone. The pressure never stops. Yet the healthiest public figures are often those who establish clear limits. Harry and Meghan appear determined to do exactly that. Their approach has remained remarkably consistent over the years. When they decide to release photographs of Archie or Lilibet, those images are carefully chosen. The children are never turned into constant public attractions. Their appearances remain rare. That consistency is difficult to ignore. Critics may dislike the decisions Harry and Meghan make, but the overall approach has remained largely unchanged.
Narinder Kaur's defense goes beyond simply supporting Meghan. It raises broader questions about how society treats public figures, especially women. Throughout Meghan's time in the public eye, almost every decision she has made has attracted intense scrutiny. If she says nothing, people speculate. If she speaks, people criticize. If she shares family moments, she's accused of seeking attention. If she keeps family life private, she's accused of hiding. It creates an impossible standard where every decision becomes controversial simply because it comes from Meghan. Many supporters believe that double standard has existed since the beginning of her relationship with Prince Harry. Ordinary actions often become national debates. Routine family choices become front-page stories. Simple photographs become political discussions. The latest Spencer family images have followed that familiar pattern. Instead of celebrating family togetherness, much of the commentary focused on questioning Meghan's motives. Narinder challenged exactly that mindset. She reminded audiences that families should not need permission to decide what memories they choose to share. Perhaps one of the most significant aspects of these photographs is the continued connection between Harry and Princess Diana's family. The Spencer family has always occupied a unique place in Harry's life. They represent not only his maternal heritage, but also an enduring connection to his late mother. Many royal watchers have noted over the years that members of the Spencer family have remained supportive of Harry during challenging periods. The latest photographs naturally sparked conversation because they reinforced those family ties. For Harry, maintaining relationships with Diana's family carries emotional significance. For Meghan, embracing those connections reflects respect for Harry's history and for the people who loved his mother. For Archie and Lilibet, these relationships help preserve an important part of their family identity. That makes the photographs about far more than publicity. They become reminders of heritage. They become reminders of belonging. They become reminders that family extends beyond institutions and titles. Narinder's comments encourage viewers to see that bigger picture. Rather than asking why the photographs were released, perhaps a more meaningful question is what they represent. They represent family. They represent continuity. They represent personal choice. One reason these discussions continue generating enormous attention is because Harry and Meghan have become experts at managing their own narrative. When they were working members of the royal family, much of their public image depended on traditional media coverage. Today, that relationship has changed dramatically. Social media allows them to communicate directly with supporters. Their production company enables them to tell stories in their own words. Public appearances allow audiences to hear directly from them, instead of relying entirely on anonymous royal sources or speculative commentary. That shift has fundamentally altered the relationship between public figures and traditional media. Many commentators have observed that the Sussexes no longer depend on newspapers to introduce their projects or explain their decisions. They can simply speak for themselves. For some sections of the media, that represents a major change from decades of established royal reporting. Narinder suggested that much of the frustration surrounding these photographs stems from exactly that reality. The Sussexes increasingly control what enters the public conversation. Instead of waiting for photographers to capture private family moments, they decide what images are released.
Instead of responding to speculation through unnamed sources, they communicate directly when they choose. That level of independence naturally changes the balance of power. Supporters argue that it is a healthier approach. They believe families should own their memories rather than surrender them to constant public demand. The reaction across social media reflects just how divided opinions remain. Many people praised the warmth of the photographs. Others admired Meghan's ability to celebrate family while still protecting Archie and Lilibet. Many users echoed Narinder Kaur's praise that sharing selected images is completely normal in modern life. Supporters pointed out that parents everywhere post family milestones without inviting strangers into every private moment. To them, Harry and Meghan are simply doing what millions of families already do. The criticism, they argue, says more about public expectations than about the photographs themselves.
Another important part of this conversation concerns Meghan's evolving public image. Despite years of criticism, she has continued building businesses, charitable initiatives, creative partnerships, and family life. Supporters see resilience in that journey. Rather than allowing constant headlines to define her, Meghan has focused on projects she believes in while maintaining close relationships with those she values. The Spencer family photographs reinforce that impression. Instead of appearing consumed by conflict, the images communicate warmth, confidence, and stability. They present a family creating memories together. That may be one reason the reaction has been so intense. Positive family moments often challenge narratives built around conflict and division. When audiences see Harry smiling with relatives connected to Princess Diana's legacy, it reminds people that life continues beyond tabloid headlines. When they see Meghan comfortably embraced within that extended family circle, it reinforces the idea that relationships are often far more complex and supportive than outside commentary suggests. Narinder's intervention has therefore become about much more than photographs. It has become a conversation about fairness. Should public figures be allowed to establish personal boundaries? Should parents decide how often their children appear publicly? Should families choose when to celebrate personal milestones? Most people would answer yes. Narinder simply applied those same principles to Harry and Meghan. Whether someone admires the Sussexes or not, the underlying principle remains remarkably universal. Parents should decide what is best for their children. Families should determine their own boundaries. No newspaper, commentator, or online critic should dictate how personal relationships are managed. As the discussion continues, one thing becomes increasingly clear. The photographs achieved exactly what Harry and Meghan intended. They celebrated family. They honored meaningful relationships. They shared joy without surrendering privacy. They reminded supporters that it is possible to be open while still maintaining healthy personal boundaries. Perhaps that is why the images generated such enormous discussion. They quietly challenged long-standing expectations about who gets to control royal narratives. For years, others often decided which stories reach the public. Today, Harry and Meghan increasingly make those decisions themselves. That evolution may continue frustrating some commentators, but it also reflects a broader cultural shift toward personal ownership of one's story. Narinder Kaur recognized that shift immediately. Her comments were not simply about defending Meghan. They were about defending the basic idea that every family deserves agency over its own life. Every family deserves the right to celebrate. Every family deserves the right to protect children. Every family deserves the right to decide what memories belong in public and what memories belong at home. For Harry and Meghan, that balance has become central to the life they have built since leaving royal duties. The latest Spencer family photographs demonstrate that this approach remains unchanged. They continue choosing openness on their own terms. They continue protecting what matters most. And they continue showing that sharing moments of happiness does not require sacrificing the privacy every family deserves. As the headlines continue and commentators debate every new development, one lesson stands out above all others. Family memories are most meaningful when they are shared by choice, not by pressure. The Sussexes have consistently argued that this is the life they wanted to build, a life where they can support charitable causes, pursue meaningful work, celebrate family milestones, and raise their children with dignity while deciding for themselves how much of that journey they wish to share with the world. Whether one agrees with every decision they make or not, Narinder Kaur's central point remains difficult to dismiss. The freedom to choose what we share and what we keep private is not a privilege reserved for a select few. It is a principle that applies to every family. In defending Meghan and Harry's right to make those choices, Narinder has sparked an important conversation that reaches far beyond royalty, reminding audiences that respect for personal boundaries and family life should never be controversial.